Do you manage multiple client accounts but cannot keep them from getting banned? Or do you wonder how could that one guy from your office runs multiple different profiles on a single computer without getting banned? Well, that is where anti-detect browsers come in. Hi, my name is Mihal, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing top 8 anti-detect browsers available in the market right now. And no, I will not just be listing down their features and pricing, I will also run a pixel scan test on each of these browsers to tell you whether they can walk the talk or not. And please watch the video till the very end because I have a surprise for you. I will provide you a 50% off discount code on one of these browsers. So let's get started. Before diving into the actual video, let's first talk about the methodology that I'll be using to review all these browsers. So my methodology is divided into three parts. In the first part, I will be talking about all the features of each of these browsers and what makes each of them stand out. And in the second part, I will create a new browser profile on each of these browsers and configure my own proxies to see whether it works or not. And in the third step, I will perform a pixel scan test to test each of these browsers and see whether they can pass the test or not. So, a pixel scan is a fingerprint analysis tool that tells you whether you are using a proxy or not. So, if any browser fails to pass the pixel scan test, it means that it has not successfully masked our IP address. But if a browser passes the pixel scan test, it means that it has been successful in masking a real IP address or not. So, with that explanation aside, let's
I've
get
been
straight
using
into the video.
Gologin for about 2 years now to manage multiple client accounts and keep my online activity properly masked. And honestly, after testing so many other anti-detect browsers, I still find Gologin to be the best overall option out there. It comes with built-in proxies, which is super useful if you don't want to bother with third-party integrations. Plus, it supports all major platforms: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and even offers a dedicated Android mobile app, which comes in handy when you are on the go. And one of my favorite things is that is it has a fully functional web application. That means you can log into your GoLogin dashboard from any browser and start managing profiles right away. When it comes to installation and the user experience, GoLogin really nails it here. It's a simple one-click setup, and if you prefer not to install anything, you can use the web version as well. The UI feels intuitive and clean. Everything is exactly where you'd expect it to be. From creating new profiles to setting up proxies or managing sessions, you don't need any tutorials. And if you ever get stuck, the support team is literally everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Telegram, email. They even have phone support. So they respond quickly and are genuinely helpful, which is something you don't often see with other software in this niche. GoLogin also stays consistently updated. Their release notes show new improvement of fixes every 1 or 2 weeks, which is excellent. That kind of frequency tells me that the team actually listens to the user feedback. Now let's talk about pricing. And this is where I think GoLogin hits a sweet spot. They have a forever free plan that allows you to create up to 3 browser profiles. After that, they have 4 main paid plans. First is a professional plan, which starts at 24 a month if you pay annually. Then there's business plan, which starts at 49 a month. And then there's enterprise plan, which costs you $99 a month. And then lastly, there is a custom plan that starts from $149, which you can tailor based on your needs. Every plan includes 2 GB of free residential proxy traffic, which is great bonus because you can start working right away. Now let's quickly check what real users are saying on Trustpilot. GoLogin has received 300 plus reviews with an average rating of 4.4 out of 5, which Trustpilot classifies as excellent. You'll see plenty of genuine 5-star reviews from long term users. And when we see G2, the feedback is even better. GoLogin holds an impressive 4.7 rating out of 5, meaning almost everyone reviewing it gave it a 5 star. So it's pretty clear why GoLogin tops my list of anti-detect browsers. It's easy to use, frequently updated, offers a free proxy bundle, and has one of the smoothest user experiences.
Okay, so
overall.
now that we are actually done with GoLogin's features and pricing, let's now quickly test whether GoLogin can actually mask your real IP address or not. So here you can see that I've already created a browser profile called Pixel Scan Test, and I have assigned it a US based proxy. Uh, you can see that here. And now let's quickly run this browser profile and see whether it can mask your real IP address or not. So here is the new browser profile we have created. Now let's search Pixel Scan and let's open the test. Okay,
So you can see that the Pixel Scan website is opened. Now click on Start Check, and yeah, you can see that it has started performing the tests. Now, the first test, you can see that it has successfully identified that we are using Chrome version 140.0.0 on Mac OS, and you can also see that it has correctly identified that we are using a US based proxy, and you can see that IP looks good. We are masking our IP address, which means that Gologin has performed successfully, and you can see that IP address is also consistent. So all in all, we can say that Gologin has performed great in this test and successfully passed this test. Next up, we have got one browser, which I have ranked as the best free option on this list. Now, one browser's startup screen might look a little familiar to you. It actually looks almost identical to Google Chrome's colorful profile setup. That's because it's built on Chromium. So if you have ever used Chrome before, you'll instantly feel at home here. It manages around 8 to 10 fingerprinting parameters, which is enough to cover the essentials, though it does not go too deep into advanced masking like some of the top tier tools do. So yeah, if you're expecting complex automation or team collaboration tools, this isn't that kind of a browser. But for a free tool, what it offers is honestly quite fair. When it comes to platform support, one browser runs smoothly on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. It's strictly a desktop tool, so there's no web app or mobile app for now. The installation process is also quite straightforward. You download the setup file, create your account, and you're ready to roll. There's no unnecessary sign up friction. The UI is simple and clean, maybe even plain for some people, but that's part of the charm. If you're the type who prefers tools that just work without overcomplicating things, you'll probably enjoy the minimal design. Everything is right there: profiles, proxy settings, and a clear view of what's active at any given time. Now, let's talk about pricing and plans. One browser has three plans. The first one is a forever free plan, which lets you create up to 10 fully isolated browser profiles, though the browsing speed is somewhat limited. The second plan costs $9 per month and gives you 20 profiles with enhanced browsing speed. The top plan is $29 per month, allowing 100 browser profiles and the best available proxy browsing speed. All plans, including the free one, come with 5 built-in proxies from the USA, UK, Germany, and India. And if you prefer, you can always add your own proxies manually or even switch on a Tor proxy. Now, support wise, one browser has an active Telegram community, which is where most of the users hang out and discuss updates. There's also a Telegram channel where the team posts news, features, and version updates. So, if you ever get stuck and just want to connect with other users, the Telegram group chat is the best place to start. Let's take a quick look at how users have rated one browser online. On Trustpilot, one browser currently has a 4.2 star rating out of 5 based on 6 total reviews. That might not be a huge number, but most users mention smooth performance and easy setup as positives. On G2, it's rated a perfect 5 out of 5, although that's based on just one review so far. Overall, I would say one browser is a solid entry level option for anyone who wants to experiment with anti-detect browsing without spending money upfront. It's not loaded with high end features, but for a free plan, you're getting a clean interface and built in proxies.
Now you can see that we are on the dashboard of one browser, and we have created a new browser profile called Pixel Scan Test. And let's now open the proxy section of one browser, and you can see that I've assigned it a US based proxy. And let's now quickly open the Pixel Scan website and start performing our test. So as you can see that we are on the Pixel Scan website. Now click on Start Check, and it has started running all the tests. Now you can see that we are using, it has correctly identified that we are using Mac version, Chrome version on Mac OS, and it has identified that we are not masking our IP address, which means our IP address looks good, and it has correctly detected a location as well, and the IP address is consistent. So one browser has also successfully passed our test, and we can say that it has been successful.
Alright, so third browser on my list is NSTBrowser, which I have to say looks pretty solid right from the start. Their website does a good job of laying out all the important features and use cases. It's clean, informative, and actually looks professional, something you don't always see in smaller anti-detect browsers. When you first log in, the interface feels quite intuitive and user-friendly. Even if you are new to the anti-detect browser space, you'll be able to find your way around pretty easily, whether it's creating browser profiles, managing settings, or adding team members. Now, it does have some advanced automation options like RPA tools, but those can get a little tricky if you are an absolute beginner. Still, it's nice that those features are there when you're ready to grow into them. NSTBrowser also comes with built-in proxies at fairly affordable rates, and you can always use your own proxies if you prefer. So you have got flexibility either way. Now, I did go digging through their release notes, and here's something interesting. The updates were quite consistent up until October 2024, but after that, there haven't been any new entries. That does not necessarily mean the project's gone quiet, but it does raise a small question mark about how active the development team is right now. But before that, though, they were doing a great job at keeping things updated and stable. When it comes to pricing, I actually think NST Browser has one of the best and most unique user-friendly setups out there. There are three main plans. The free plan, which is surprisingly generous, it lets you create up to 500 browser profiles and add up to 3 team members. That's a lot for a free plan. Then there's the professional plan at $29.9 per month, which allows you to launch 100,000 browser profiles and add up to 20 team members. Finally, there's enterprise plan that costs around $59.9 per month and gives you a massive 500,000 profiles plus room for 200 team members. And here's the best part. All the features are available in every plan, free or paid. Now, let's look at what people are saying about NST Browser online. On Trustpilot, NST Browser currently sits at an average rating of 3.2 out of 5 based on 15 reviews. There are few negative ones in there, mostly about minor bugs or slow updates. But overall, the feedback is pretty balanced on Slashdot, though it has a perfect 5 out of 5 rating, but with a smaller number of total reviews. All in all, I would say NST Browser is a good platform, especially if you are managing large projects or profiles or working with a small team. It gives you plenty of flexibility, fair pricing, and a generous free plan to get started. Alright, so now as you can see that I am on the NST browser dashboard, and now let's see whether it can pass the pixel scan test or not. Here you can see that I've already created a pixel scan test browser profile, and I've assigned it a US based proxy as well. Now let's click on start browser profile, and I'll launch a new browser profile. And now let's search for pixel scan website, and then I'm going to click on start check, and now you can see that it has started performing the tests. First of all, you can see that it has correctly identified that we are using Chrome version on Mac OS. It has correctly identified that we are masking our fingerprint, which means that it has been successful. And you can see that it has correctly identified our location, which is United States as well. And you can see that it says the IP address is consistent. So again, NST browser has also passed the pixel scan test. Now, fourth on the list is Dolphin Anty, which I would say is one of the best anti-detect browsers if you work in advertising and manage multiple client accounts. It's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, so no matter what system you use, you are covered. What really stood out to me about Dolphin Anty is its synchronizer feature. It lets you clone your actions from one master profile and automatically replicate those same actions across all the browser profiles you choose. So if you are running ad campaigns, doing repetitive setups, or testing multiple accounts at once, this feature can literally save you hours. The interface is generally easy to understand and navigate. I had no trouble figuring out how things worked, though I would say new users might need a short adjustment period to get fully comfortable with all the options. But overall, it's clean, organized, and feels like a tool built for marketers rather than developers. Creating a new browser profile is simple on Dolphin Anty. You just insert your information, choose your proxy configuration, and you're ready to go. You can also manage users from the same dashboard, though on the free plan you cannot actually add additional users. Each new user costs you about $10. Now let's look at the pricing of Dolphin Anty. Dolphin Anty has 5 plans in total. The free plan, which gives you 5 browser profiles to test things out. The starter plan, which costs around $10 per month and allows you to create up to 60 browser profiles. There's Blaze plan, which is designed for small teams that offers up to 100 browser profiles. Then there's the team plan that allows you to create up to 300 browser profiles. And finally, there's enterprise plan, which lets you manage up to 1000 browser profiles. Now, one thing to note here is that all plans come with just one user by default, and adding additional users cost extra. Now, when it comes to support, Dolphin NT has both an AI powered chat system built right into the website and direct contact options like WhatsApp, which is actually quite convenient. Now, let's look at user feedback of Dolphin NT online. Now, on Trustpilot, Dolphin Anty has an average rating of 4.1 out of 5, with most of the reviews being 5-star ones. A few users mentioned that it is slightly on the pricier side, but almost everyone agrees that it is worth the money. So, all in all, Dolphin Anty is a strong choice for advertisers or marketers who need to handle
Now
multiple
it's
accounts
time to put
effectively.
Dolphin Anty to test and see whether it can mask a real IP address or not. So here you can see that I've already created a pixel scan test browser profile on Dolphin Anty and I have assigned it a US based IP. Now let's click on start to start a new browser profile on Dolphin Anty, and here you can see that a new browser profile is created. Now let's quickly search pixel scan website and open the pixel scan website. Now you can click on start check. Now, after clicking on Start Check, you can see that it has started performing all the browser fingerprint test. And you can see that it has correctly identified that we are using Chrome version on Mac OS. It has correctly identified our location, which is United States. It has correctly identified our IP. And you can see that it says you are not masking your fingerprint. And the IP address is also consistent. So all in all, we can say that Dolphin Anty has also passed the pixel scan test.
Next on the
Now,
list, we have Incognition, which is a Chromium based anti detect browser that's been around for quite some time. The first thing you will notice about is the interface. It definitely has that old school look and feel. Nothing flashy or modern here. In fact, it feels a bit like raw software, functional but not particularly refined. And honestly, at its current price point, that's something you start to notice right away. Now, the good news is that Incognition's documentation is pretty solid. They have got written guides, video tutorials that cover most of the browser's features. However, there's a catch. This tool expects you to know what you are doing. Setting up virtual browser profiles here is not as beginner friendly as some of the newer anti-detect options. When it comes to the platform support, Incognition only works on Windows and Mac OS. There's no mobile app or web version, and it does not offer mobile fingerprints either, which is something many competitors have already started integrating. So if you are looking for a browser that can sync across devices or run in the cloud, this is the one. Now let's talk about proxies because this is one of area where I ran into some friction. You can connect your own proxies and they do offer integration with two external proxy providers via API keys, but none of the paid plans actually include proxy traffic. So you'll need to bring your own or pay separately. They did recently add a free proxy option to the free plan, which is nice in theory, but in practice, the setup process is still overly complicated, even for experienced users. Adding, assigning, and testing a single proxy IP took me longer than it should have. In terms of update, the release cycle feels a bit inconsistent. Sometimes you will get new patches or improvements multiple times in a month, and other times it is just one update in 4 or 5 weeks. It's not bad, but it's not the most predictable either. Now let's go over pricing. Incognition has several plans. The free plan gives you 3 browser profiles to start with. Then there's the starter plan that costs 19.99 per month and it lets you create 10 browser profiles for the first 2 months before dropping back to the 3 if you don't upgrade. The entrepreneur plan costs around 29.99 per month, allowing you to create up to 50 browser profiles. Then there is a professional plan that is around 79.99 per month and supports 150 browser profiles and allows you to add up to 3 team members. And finally, there's a custom package priced at $149.99 per month, which costs you up to which offers around 500 browser profiles and room for 10 team members. Let's now check what real users are saying about this browser. On Trustpilot, Incogniton has around 180 reviews and maintains a strong 4.6 rating out of 5, with the majority being 5-star feedback. On reviews.io, it actually holds a 5-star rating, although most of the reviews are about 2 years old. So while the user sentiment is clearly positive, it looks like most of their active users are on Trustpilot. Overall, I think Incogniton is a good, reliable platform, especially for users who already understand how anti-detect browsers work and prefer something technical. But if you are a beginner or someone who values simplicity and ease of setup, you might find it a bit overwhelming.
now as you can
Next
see
on the
that we
list,
are on the dashboard of Incognition, and now let's test whether it can mask your real IP address or not. So you can see that I've already created a pixel scan test browser profile on Incognition and I have assigned it a US based IP address. Now let's click on start to launch a new browser profile. You can see that it takes a little time to launch a new browser profile, but yeah, so now the new browser profile has been opened, and now let's quickly search for pixelscan.net, And now click on start check to start running the fingerprint tests, and you can see that it has correctly identified the Chrome version we are using, the location that our proxy is using, but it has failed to identify it has actually successfully identified that we are masking our fingerprint and says that our IP address is inconsistent.
The sixth browser on my list is Multilogin, which is one of the most well known names in the Antidetect browser space. It is an Estonian based browser that gives you access to modified versions of Chrome, Firefox, and each with completely separate browser fingerprints. Multilogin is available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, and it is fully optimized for Apple's M1 through M4 chips. So, no matter which system you are using, it runs smoothly and feels stable. When it comes to the interface, Multilogin is actually very similar to Gologin in terms of usability. It's clean, intuitive, and does not have much friction for new users. Creating new browser profiles takes just a few clicks, and you can easily input all your custom information configurations without any confusion. Now let's talk about proxies, because this is one of the Multilogin's strong point. You can either add your own proxy details manually or use Multilogin's own built-in proxy service, which gives you access to a massive proxy pool of over 30 million residential IPs. That's a huge plus if you're managing high volume projects or need a wide variety of clean IPs. On the dashboard, you can also manage team members, adding or removing users as needed, but that's a feature available only on the paid plans. Speaking of plans, Multilogin does not offer a free version, but you can try it out with a 3-day free trial that costs you 1.99 euros. It includes up to 3 browser profiles, which is enough to get a feel for how it works. And after that, there are two main plans. The Pro plan, which is priced at 49 euros per month, allows up to 10 browser profiles and includes 3 GB of residential proxy traffic. Then there is a business plan starting at 159 euros per month, supports up to 300 browser profiles, and comes with 10 GB of included proxy traffic. The pricing clearly targets professionals and agencies who manage multiple accounts at scale. Now, let's look at how users rate Multilogin online. On Trustpilot, Multilogin has an average rating of 3.8 out of 5 based on 100 plus reviews. That's not the highest score out there, but most of the recent feedback is positive, with plenty of 5-star reviews from users praising its performance and stability. On G2, though, the story is even better. Multilogin holds an impressive 4.8 out of 5 rating from 78 total reviews. That is one of the strongest ratings amongst all anti-detect browsers in this lineup. In my opinion, Multilogin is one of the most powerful and performance-oriented anti-detect browsers out there, especially if you are managing large-scale operations or
Now it's
agency-level
time to
workflows.
put pixel scan to test and check whether it can mask your real IP address or not. So here you can see that I've already created a browser profile on Multilogin called pixel scan test, and I have assigned it a UK based IP. So now let's click on start to start a new browser profile on Multilogin and see whether it can pass the pixel scan test or not. So here you can see that it has already opened new browser window, and now let's open the pixel scan website and start our test and see whether it can mask your real IP and address or not. So here you can see that it has correctly identified that we are using the Chrome version on Mac OS. It has correctly identified our location as well. The IP address looks good, and it says that you are not masking your fingerprint, which means that it has successfully passed our test, and the IP address is also consistent. So I can conclude that Multilogin has also passed this
So the second
test.
last browser on our list is Morelogin, which is a Chinese anti-detect browser that is quite similar to AdsPower in how it feels and functions. Even though the team has added some new features in 2025 like cloud phone support, the software still comes across as a bit technical and unpolished. If you're someone who enjoys exploring settings and does not mind a few extra clicks to get things working, it's not a big deal. But if you prefer something plug and play, it might feel a little rough around the edges. Morelogin supports both Windows and Mac OS, and getting started is actually pretty quick. You can register using Google Authentication or the OKX extension, but you will still need to verify your email before you can access the dashboard. Once you are in, the interface looks decent but definitely caters to users who have at least a bit of technical knowledge. Creating new browser profiles is simple enough, but if you want to set up custom proxies, you will need to dig a little deeper into the settings, and that is where things get a bit tricky. Morelogin does have a dedicated proxy service section where you can mass paste, organize, and manage proxies, which is convenient in theory, but in practice, the process of buying, adding, or editing proxies is not as straightforward as it could be. It takes a bit of patience and careful attention. Now let's talk about pricing, and this is one area where Morelogin keeps things nice and simple. There are three plans: a free forever plan, which gives you two browser profiles and two users; the Pro plan, which starts at $9 per month, allows up to 10 browser profiles and two users; and then there's a custom plan which you can tailor by contacting their support team. Let's now look at what real users are saying about Morelogin. On Trustpilot, Morelogin holds a 4.1 star rating based on 28 total reviews. The number of reviews is still on the lower side, but most users seem happy, satisfied with the tool performance. On G2, it's rated 4.5 out of 5 from 13 total reviews, and nearly all of them are 5-star ratings. The only recurring complaint I noticed is about slow customer support, but otherwise, people seem happy. Overall, I think Morelogin is a good anti-detect browser with a fair balance between features affordability. It's reliable for smaller setups or users who do not need deep automation tools just yet, but it could definitely improve its built-in proxy management to make the experience more smooth for everyone.
Now you can see that I'm on the dashboard of Morelogin, and now let's test whether it can pass this pixel scan test or not. So as you can see that I have already created a pixel scan test browser profile, and I have assigned it a private US based proxy. Now let's click on start to launch a new browser profile on Morelogin, and from there we will open the pixel scan website. Now let's search for pixel scan. Now let's search for pixel scan, and now let's click on start check to start performing all the tests. And you can see that it has correctly identified the Chrome version we are using, and on Mac OS it has correctly identified our location as well. It says that you are not masking your fingerprint, which means that we have been successful in masking our fingerprint. And it also says that our IP address is consistent. So again, Morelogin has also passed this test.
Alright, so last on this list of anti-detect browsers is Bitbrowser. It is one of the cheapest anti-detect browsers if you can find right now, but surprisingly, it still performs pretty well for what it costs. Bitbrowser supports only Windows and Mac OS, so Linux users are out of luck for now, but even with that limitation, it does not cut corners when it comes to the user experience. The interface is clean, simple, and well organized, with all the options laid out exactly where you'd expect them to be. It feels lightweight and fast overall, although I would say if you are a complete beginner, you might need a little time to get familiar with where everything is. One of the things I really like about Bitbrowser is that it actually provides a decent level of privacy protection. There's also a built in fingerprinting shield. However, keep in mind that the browser can get slow at times, especially if you are running multiple profiles simultaneously. That is one trade off you'll have to accept for the price. Now, when it comes to pricing, proxies, Bitbrowser gives you flexibility but does not include its own proxy service. Instead, it has a dedicated proxy IP section where you can either add your own proxies or choose from the recommended third party providers. It works fine once set up, but you will be managing everything yourself. Managing multiple profiles on one account is also pretty straightforward, with clear controls for adding or removing users. Just note that this feature is only available on the paid plan. The free plan limits you to one user only. Now let's go over the pricing plans because this is where Bitbrowser might stand out to you. There are three main options. The free plan allows you to create up to 10 browser profiles and includes one user. The base plan, which is priced at $10 per month, gives you 50 browser profiles and supports two users. And then there's a custom plan where you can set the exact number of profiles and users you need, and the team will give you a detailed quote. For the price, that's honestly one of the most flexible setups out there. As for the support, Bitbrowser's team seem accessible. You can reach them out on WhatsApp, Telegram, or WeChat, and they even make it easy by letting you scan a QR code directly from their website to start a chat. So contacting them is not an issue. Now let's check what real users are saying about Bitbrowser online. On Trustpilot, Bitbrowser has an 14 total review with an average rating of 4 out of 5. This is quite good. Most of the comments highlight its affordability and ease of setup. On the G2, it actually scores even higher, 4.9 out of 5 based on 27 reviews, which means nearly everyone gave it a 5-star rating. That is an impressive level of satisfaction for such a budget-friendly tool. So to sum it up, Bitbrowser is great in terms of pricing, usability, and accessibility. If you're just getting into anti-detect browsers and want something affordable that still does the job, it is a solid pick. The only thing I would ask their team to improve is the overall speed, especially when multiple
Now
profiles are
you can
running
see
at
that I'm
once.
on the dashboard of Bitbrowser, and I have already created a pixel scan test browser profile. But whenever I try to open the browser profile from Bitbrowser, it gives me the error that the number of profile created has reached its limit. And it also gives me the error that your account has triggered the free user risk control policy, and the browser profile open count has been adjusted to 0. And I checked it on the internet, and a lot of users face this issue. So hence I cannot test Bitbrowser on Okay, so that was it from today's video. In this video, I reviewed the top 8 anti-detect browsers. I talked about their features, their pricing, their customer support team, their customer reviews, and a lot more. In the end, I also performed a pixel scan test to see whether they can mask my real IP address or not. 6 browsers passed the test successfully, but 2 browsers could not simply make it. Incogniton simply did not pass the pixel scan test, and Bitbrowser failed to launch the browser profile. So yeah, that was it from today's video. And as promised, now I'm going to give you the discount code. So the discount code that I'll give you is of Gologin. It is my personal discount code, and you can use the discount code Mehal50 to purchase any plan of Gologin, and you'll get 50% off your first purchase. So that was it from today's video. And if you like the video, then please don't forget to drop a like and tell me in the comment that which browser is your favorite. See you on the other side.